Hey guys, how are you? What's up? It's Pia
and Nicole,
Mixed Fat Chick,
Style Vicksen.
Today we're going to be talking about body positivity.
Yes.
There's so much to say about this topic.
Indeed.
And in preparation for this segment, we realized we had a lot of things in common in terms of our journey towards body positivity. So,
yes.
I don't know about you, but growing up, I was actually not a heavy child. Like I was fairly, just average size, I guess you could say. But when I turned 12 or 13, I started to become real conscious of my body.
Yeah.
And, family would start making comments about things, and I got really insecure. And, just like every other girl who was our age, looking at the magazines and being like, I don't look like that.
At all.
And the disordered eating started. Yeah. So, it's just all of the advertising that kind of feeds into that. I spent a lot of years dieting.
Yep.
I mean, every diet you could name, up and down in my weight.
Yep.
Starving, only eating carrots. I mean, whatever. We could talk all day about that.
Yes.
What about you?
Very similar. I think I was chubby all along. I don't remember ever being, average size, and I say average, in quotations. I think I was always chubby, and like you said, get to a certain age, and everybody else looks a certain way, and you look a little different, and it's like, oh, I remember one of my friends saying, how come your thighs, it's like, what?
Right.
I had hips, in junior high school, and everybody else was wearing all the cute little cross colors and Carlton eyes. Like, no, no. So it was just really interesting. My mom dressed me a certain way, and I always felt a little awkward. I didn't have a really good sense of self. Yeah, it was really interesting. And the years of dieting. Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now. I can remember. I can remember being in elementary school, and my mom, and my mom is great, so I'm not saying this to really kind of down her or be negative towards her, but I can remember being a kid and having Slim Fast. I can remember being in elementary school.
Yes. Same.
Okay.
Same.
I was like, is it just me? And she would say, no, but you need more protein, so she would put a raw egg in it, which, I could have died from salmonella. Among other things, but so she would do that too. Here, put an egg in there, shake it up. But I'm drinking Slim Fast in elementary school.
Wow.
On the way to school, I remember that.
Wow.
So that started it, and then we did all the other things. I did. I don't know if we should be naming diets, but Lindora, Weight Watchers, all of that.
All the ones that you're familiar with. Yeah, absolutely. Atkins, whatever it is.
Yeah.
All the food combining things.
Yep.
I can remember this was when I was in my early 20s, and I was living in New York, going to design school, and I had just actually had liposuction, which we're going to talk about.
Yep.
And I had come up with some cabbage soup diet. I had made this fancy calendar, and I was going to eat this cabbage soup every day. Well, honey, by the third time that day I'd had that cabbage soup, I was like, you know what? Diet started and over.
On the same day.
On the same day. I had spent all this time on my fancy little calendar. I was like, I'm going to eat this every day.
No. And I'm like, do you still eat cabbage? Because I would think I'd be done with cabbage.
I love cabbage cooked with bacon. Girl, wait, let me tell you, after that, I went around the corner to Kenny Fried Chicken. Yes, I did, on Clinton and Washington and Brooklyn. And I was like, can I get a fried rice and some fried chicken?
Okay.
But it was that. But at the time, the cycle was like, diet, fail, self-hatred, eat, diet, fail, right? It was just over and over, and the just the humiliation of that, of feeling like you're a failure, right? That's huge. It's really huge. It takes a toll on your self-esteem. Yeah.
And I think for me, I had actually, in my early 20s, my mom, again, like I said, I hope she don't watch this, because I don't want her to think I'm not saying nothing wrong about my mama.
I hear you.
She put me on Lindora. She said, I'm paying for you to get on Lindora. And I actually did, I lost a lot of weight. I lost 80 something pounds. I was I started at 216 and got down to 127. I still remember to this day. In size 4, I was like, hey, got my suits on, my little outfits on. But then what happened when I realized this, I kind of got into this weird cycle, right? So you you're trying to keep the weight down. And I don't know if you guys know the science, and I'm probably not going to say it right, but you know, as you come down, you can't eat as much. You can't. Correct. You have to eat less, and you actually have to eat less than someone that is your size, that has always been that size. Like your body is like, what are you doing? And it wants to go back to where it was. Right. So now you have to eat like damn near nothing. Right. So then it's not fun. Everybody else is eating what they want to eat, and I'm like, oh wait a minute, hold on, got me. You know,
and you're eating a cup of air.
Right.
Great.
And that's it. You know, and you're smiling. But that's okay because I'm a size 4. No.
Right.
So after a while, you want to go back to normal and try to eat like normal people, and then your weight is going to go back up because again, your body is like, oh, good food. Yes. We want to get back to that 216 because we like 216. That was great. And so I would get into these cycles of dieting, trying to. And after a while, it wouldn't work. It stopped working.
Your body was
my metabolism was like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
And it was like, we're done. And so I had to realize that I needed to stop fighting myself. And I always say this, that's how I characterize it. I needed to stop fighting with myself.
Yes.
And just be. And try to be the best person I could be as far as what I take in, eat fruits and vegetables, drink water. But at the end of the day, let all that shit go. I used to weigh myself every day.
Oh yeah, me too.
And one day the scale didn't say what I wanted it to say, and I decided that scale was broken and I threw it away.
Girl.
But to this day I will not weigh myself, but for different reasons now. You know what I mean?
Because the scale, it was like it would determine whether or not you had a good day.
Yeah.
Right? A number, a simple number. You know, because we put so much emphasis on it. You know, we put so much emphasis. I'm curious to know though, when you were in that size 4 body, were you happy? Did you feel like, I've arrived, my life is better now?
I think I thought I felt that way. I can't, you know, the funny thing is it's been so long ago, and sort of like, I feel like that was another time and place. I can't even really, I don't know. I think I did. I think there were other things going on with me and my self-esteem anyway that probably played a role. But I know I like to buy a lot of clothes, and that was something that was like, ooh, yay. But I don't know. I don't know. I think I thought I was happy. I'll say that much. I think that was the perception.
Yeah. Because I think advertisers are basically are telling us that, like, if we're not thin or if we're not working towards becoming thin, then something is intrinsically wrong with us, right? And the myth that when you are in a thin body, that all life's problems will disappear and you will be a queen.
Right.
And it's like, guess what? I'm a queen in this size 18 body right now, just so you know. Right? But you know, we both have had that journey and that struggle, and that was not an overnight, you know, thing that I came to. I mean, it really took a lot of immersing myself in other people's, you know, feeds on Instagram and Facebook, and people who were saying those things like, guess what? My body's okay just as it is.
Absolutely.
And it takes a while to get there. It takes practice, it takes time, and it takes getting out of your comfort zone, right?
Yes.
To really sort of go, I think this body is just fine.
Right.
Because same thing, I was like, when I got liposuction, which was in, God, I think that was it wasn't 1998. I got liposuction.
Oh, okay.
And my parents had been living in the Philippines, and you can get liposuction there really inexpensively. So my father was like, well, you know, I'll buy it for you. I will pay for this. So of course I was like, this is the answer to all my problems.
Yeah.
No more diets. You're gonna suck fat out of my body. Woo! Life is great. And they did that. They sucked 11 pounds out of my body.
Wow.
My first thought was 11 pounds. That's all I got.
I know. Do some more.
Right. And my body began to change, you know, and all of that. Yeah. But at the end of the day, my surgery did not go well because to this day, there are parts of my body that are not even because of that surgery that I had. And so I have a lot of regrets about it.
Yeah.
But it's part of my journey, and it's part of how I got to be here.
Exactly. Yeah. And my liposuction story is interesting too. So I had lost a lot of weight, and so I had decided, I'm pear-shaped, and I'm sure you guys can tell and from my blogs and from Instagram. So I'm wider hipped, smaller at the top. And I had decided that my hips, or the way that my hips sort of curved, I didn't like. It was too severe, I guess, for lack of a better word.
Right.
So went in and paid about $10,000, and wonderful lady, really great lady, plastic surgeon, she's about this tall. She did my lipo and got me, got my little hips, nice and rounded. And so I don't necessarily regret it because, like you said, it is part of the journey.
Yeah.
I think I do regret spending that much money on myself like that. I could have done something else, could have done other things. But this was about 10, 12 years ago, so it just is what it is. And one thing I wanted to talk about or mention too, I think for me that's a little different. I have a daughter and she's an adult. She's 21 going on 22 years old. And I think also too, a lot of this whole body positivity that we talk about was really important for me because I had to be an example for her.
Amen.
And I even talked about that even as recently as summer of 2017 when I did my bathing suit shoot. And I'm like, I need her to know that her body can be okay as it is at
yes,
right?
Yes.
That we're not always aspiring to be something else or on the way to being smaller or this thing. It's like today is fine. If I want to do something different tomorrow, that's okay too. That's fine. But that, I think she needs to hear that. And I hope and I think that she's really good. So that was another reason why I'm like, I can't be doing this. She can't be watching me like,
exactly.
Oh, I just have a piece of kale when that's it.
Right, right. You're setting an example.
It's crazy. Yeah.
And I know you talked about not wanting to offend your mother, and it's like, but I grew up in the same way where my parents were very conscious about the way people look. So there was, I got a lot of mixed messages about food. So like, love was shown through food, but at the same time, I'd get the message like, you don't need to eat any more cake.
But you gave it to me.
You gave me the cake.
What you want?
You need to be on Weight Watchers.
Yeah, like what?
So that confusion. Yeah, and I wish that this movement had started when we were growing up and we were teenagers because so much suffering could have been avoided.
Exactly. So, it's just been an interesting journey and I don't regret it. Like you said, no regrets, but again, dang, if we had known what we know now, if we had the resources that we, have now, all these fabulous clothes and all these wonderful influencers and people that are examples, it's like, dang, where was this stuff when I was in junior high school wearing clothes out the Sears catalog, looking like... Where were you people? Where were y'all? I guess y'all was in the Sears catalog too.
Yes.
Like, what the hell?
Yes, absolutely. You in that Sears catalog. You probably never want to shop at Sears again, huh?
Girl, they said Sears is going out of business. Then hey, that's fine.
Sorry, Sears, that sucks for you.
But but they've gotten better. I think I went in there one time. I was like, that's cute. But
I got something cute there a couple years ago, but it's not. I don't shop there very much. But it's just interesting to me. I wonder what you would tell your younger self now.
Wow.
What would you tell your younger self?
Well, I definitely would tell my younger self to not fight myself. Don't fight you. This is the only body you get. Yeah. This is the only you, and that you are more important than anything else in the world, and that you should love you as you are. So I think that's what I would tell myself, my younger self.
Yeah.
And just to enjoy life and to not work so hard to please other people.
Yes.
I did a lot of that for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I gotta work on me. I want to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
So that's why you see the nail polish, you see the shoes.
Clearly you've come a long way. Yes, that's a good thing.
And what would you tell your younger self?
Probably something similar, just to stop comparing yourself to other people. Yes. That's a big one because my friends were thin and athletic and popular, and I was kind of a nerd in high school, and by society's standards, I actually had a great figure, right?
Yeah.
By society's standards of what would be considered a great figure. But I couldn't see that.
Yeah.
And I wore a lot of oversized clothes and just didn't want to be seen, right? And in retrospect, I wish I could go back and be like, girl, you know what? You all that.
Girl.
I would have had such a different experience in high school had I just let myself say you're enough. I would have done theater. I would have joined more clubs. I would have made more friends. And just, to just go back and see her and say, guess what?
Yeah.
In 20 years, you're not even gonna recognize yourself.
Yeah.
Enjoy your youth. This is the time to enjoy yourself.
Man,
right?
I tell you. And I think the other thing that you said, talking about hiding, it's like, girl, take up all the space. Take it all up. Come in with your hair big, right? Big earrings. Take it all up.
Big. Yes. the taking up
colorful. Don't be wearing all black. Girl, you better put your leopard print, whatever African print stuff on, and just take up all that space.
And as women, we're so taught to take up very little space.
Yeah.
We're taught to cross our legs, right? We're taught to, if you're sitting on a bus, you know, you always see women kind of squished in, and men are taking up all the space. You know, and it's like, forget that. You know, taking up space physically, taking up space politically, taking up space, right, in all of those ways. It's like, we don't have to apologize for any of that.
No apologies.
None, not happening. Zero apologies.
What else can we say? Anything else we got to say about body positivity?
I feel like it's a topic we'll probably come back to a lot.
So.
This was kind of an introductory, broad conversation about kind of where we started on our journeys. And the thing is, the journey never ends.
No.
And I also want to say that it's not like I've arrived, right? It's not like I wake up in the mirror and go, damn, yo, fine, girl.
I mean, I do that, but
I love it.
But I get your point.
I don't always feel great about my body, right?
Right.
I don't diet. I abandoned diets years ago.
No.
But I will admit, right, full disclosure, that there are days, especially this time of year, the end of the year, you know, when the advertisers are really pumping out all the new, you know, clean eating, blah, whatever, that it still gets through there, permeates, and you start to second guess yourself. But then I go, whoop, step back. You've been there. You've been on that crazy journey, and you have made a commitment that you're not going to do it again. So the thoughts come in, but it's whether or not I decide I want that thought to become an action.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. And I think I also want to make the point or distinction that nobody is saying that we don't care about our bodies, that we don't love ourselves, and we just, you know, because I sometimes hear that weird sort of, well, this you just want to eat up everything.
Right, you're not healthy.
Right. It's like, you know, I want to go back into water aerobics, and I want to start getting back. You know, I walk every day because I got to take the bus and train to work. I once rode a bicycle. I just want to say this in 2012 from San Francisco to Los Angeles. So, you know, I used to run for like a little while. I used to run. So it's like nobody's saying, you know, sit on the couch and do nothing and eat, you know, Doritos, even though I do that.
I love Doritos.
And I like donuts a lot.
I do too. Donuts are good.
But it's about just sort of this balance and just being honest and really real about who we are, and the fact that who we are today is valued and valuable, and that there's not this thing of, oh, we're not real people, we're not our full selves until we're a smaller version of ourselves.
Right. And defining health for yourself, that's between you and your doctor. And sometimes not all doctors are size friendly, and get it. Right. You know, I mean, I have gone into a doctor for one thing, and then they gonna tell me that answer is weight loss. I was like, I came in for a toothache, bitch. What are you talking about? But you know what I'm saying? Right? Like, even doctors have been sucked into that way of thinking that losing weight is the answer to everything. I said my knee hurt, or, you know, whatever it is.
My baby toe, or
my baby toe.
Like,
I have an ear infection. Well, maybe if you stopped eating and it's like, what? No. But I have a great doctor now who I feel like all my numbers are great, right? People make assumptions that thin equals healthy. That's my biggest problem. You see thin, you think healthy. You don't know anybody's numbers. You don't know what's going on with them. Right. And also, please stop complimenting people on losing weight. You don't know why they lost weight. They could be sick, right? That's not a compliment. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. It's just, it annoys the hell out of me.
Yes, I think I posted on Instagram maybe a couple years ago about that. I'm like, there's always this one lady in my office, oh, you looking like you're losing weight. Will you stop saying that? First of all, because I have not lost weight. Right. I'm not trying to. And second of all, just say that I look nice. Just say, oh, I like your jacket. Leave it at that.
Just leave it at that. You look great.
You know? Well, I have a coworker, she just passed away from liver cancer. And on the one hand, the one good part about it is they did comment on her weight, and it made her think that she was a doctor. But even still, it's like, stop. You know, you don't know why folks are, you know.
We're so focused on the exterior. So we've talked about a lot of things during this segment, right? It was really more of an introduction to learn how we sort of grew up and how we've come to be in this body positive space. And when we do other videos, we'll be a little bit more focused. And if you have ideas for things that you want us to talk about, let us know in the comments, right?
Yes, definitely.
So thank you for being vulnerable.
Thank you. And we learned so much about each other. Like,
so much.
What?
So much.
This was great.
It was awesome.
All right.
We'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Matched sometimes, not all the time. Is it filming? Is it filming? Yes, it is. The timer's right there. Like, yes, Julio, I'm filming. Okay.
All right.
Why is it so hard for me to get in this chair?
I don't know.